And obviously, outstanding second half. What did you say till we half time?
Look, not that much, to be honest. So we had some things written on the wall, and it was on the whiteboard. It was that were hurting us purely from a playing the game point of view. But I ended up rubbing them off and said that wasn't our biggest problem. Our biggest problem was to make sure we had some effort, and if we brought some effort, we'd put ourselves in the contest. And we wanted to talk about it as a club, and we've said it. We don't want to give up. And the important part was that we showed some effort, and at the end of the day, did I believe we were probably going to come away with a winner? No, I certainly didn't. But in the end, you get what you deserve, I reckon, if you just keep at it. That's what we got.
Kim, what was the difference between a team that couldn't run to a team that overran in this coast?
You're talking about us in the first half? Yeah, we were flat, weren't we? We just looked like we were lacking a little bit of punch. I think you've got to give a lot of credit to West Coast. They really shut us down hard. That's as good a job as anyone's done on us, shutting us down early. And but to our credit, we have belief in our ability to run, and we just knew that if we could just keep going and keep whacking away a little bit and back our legs in, that hopefully we could keep running until the end of the game, which we clearly did.
One got this last week. Did you think they were vulnerable to speed tonight?
Oh, look, I thought their form coming in wasn't as bad as it looked on the ladder, probably. I thought they were incredibly unlucky with the goals that they missed last week. And look, even again tonight, they've missed some opportunities. We've missed some too, but I didn't think they were vulnerable to that. I thought that they were going to be a four-quarter game for us that we had to perform. We were probably lucky that the first half we dodged a few bullets.
Okay, what's the difference between what Adelaide started last year and finished up with a triple figure loss to the one that wins tonight?
I'm pretty impressed with our leadership group. Anytime you look around and see Travis Boak and Hamish Hartlett and Jackson Trengove and these young leaders that are going to lead the club forward for the next 5, 6, 7 years, they sort of stand up and everyone else just jumps on their back. So, when side's not going well, leaders get criticised. When it's going well, it's time to pump them up and give them the recognition that they deserve.
Is there a reason why there's this belief that probably wasn't there last year?
Oh, look, we're up and about. No doubt, winning the first four gives you a lot of confidence, and it's not just the first four that we won. We were pretty impressive throughout the pre-season, and no one really took much notice of that, but we certainly did internally, and that gave us a lot of confidence, as well as the pre-season we had. So yeah, we're in a good spot.
And did you sort of readjust any expectations now around the club?
No, not at all. We talk about, I was asked the same question last week, we talk about our behaviours. Our behaviours will control our outcomes, and no limits, no restrictions. We're just going to talk about turning up next week and making sure we put a good account of ourselves out there in the way we play and the style that we want to play, and what happens, our behaviours will give us outcomes. We talk all the time about what we expect, and that's what we're going to expect again.
Is it surprising you that we're seeing that Adelaide comeback was over 5 goals this one?
No, I'm attached to them pretty tightly now after the first 5 games of the year, and their NAB Cup, their pre-season. I've had a group that just are willing to give everything they've got, and I've seen that in pre-season in some of the tasks we set them. And we know that at some stage the scoreboard will go against us, but I just know, and again, the message at half-time was, let's make sure we don't give up, and we certainly didn't give up.
Kim, what's the balancing act on your short kicking? Sometimes it seems to get you into trouble.
You've got to dare, I reckon. You've got to be prepared to dare a little bit, and you've got to be prepared to take the game on. And sometimes it's going to look like that. Sometimes it's not going to come off. That's the pressure of the opposition, and I think we should take that into account. But we're not going to shy away from the fact that we want to be brave. We want to take the game on, and that's the way we're going to play our football. And at times it's going to look like we're not quite sure what we're doing, I reckon. But hopefully more often than not we'll control the situation. We'll play with a bit more composure. Pressure creates a little bit of that, and that's what the West Coast brought early.
Burgess is one of the most crucial in the club's recent history.
I think his team. I think it's not just Darren or, we talk about Darren, Ken, Alan. We've got teams that we work within, and Burjo's team is pretty impressive. It's not just him, and the people he's got under him in rehab, and the condition, and the weights, and all the data that we collect. It's an impressive team, and people don't realise it. And Burjo would love me saying that, I'm sure. He loves the fact that his team are a really good team.
Kane, yourself and speaking to your teammates, do you guys feel in better shape than you did last year?
Yeah, I think so. I think, and that once again comes from the evidence. Like, you can feel as good as you want in pre-season and, you know, run PBs and this sort of stuff, but until you get out in the park against quality opposition at three-quarter time and be, you know, level with Adelaide and behind West Coast and run over the top of them, then, you know, the proof's in the pudding, I guess.
It's starting to get mentioned now. It's starting to get mentioned that, you know, three-quarter time, you know, you've still some feeling.
Yeah, I think internally, like, we're really confident. We spoke about, you know, where we're placed as a group throughout the week, and you know, they put a really good control on our training loads and that sort of thing, and we felt like we were, you know, pretty prime coming to this game. So, you know, credit to the guys off the field.
Can I do that expectation question? What should you now make of the 5 next?
Our best performance in round 6, I hope. That's what we should. I mean, 5-0 is, again, I'm going to say it's a result of what we've done, our behaviour that we've produced, and that's what it'll be again. You know, people will want to make more of it, and we're okay for people to make more of it. We just need to make sure we stay focused. I said on Friday, we won't get ahead of ourselves. We respect this competition. That's what we have to do. This is a really brutal, tough competition, and if you do for a moment step a little bit ahead of yourselves, you'll end up in trouble, and we're not going to do that.
I can't speak highly enough of him. Like, he's one of the most infectious, exciting, great people that I've ever played footy with. To come in and do what he's done as an 18-year-old weighing whatever he weighs is inspiring for the rest of the group, and his ability to tackle, his ability to play pure team Port Adelaide football is as good as I've seen, and no doubt our draft picks, we've made some really good decisions off the field, and we're reaping the rewards of that now.
Kane, your captain stood up big time in the last quarter in particular. You played under a few skippers here. How's he going, tracking along?
Yeah, I spoke about the leadership group. Unbelievable. Boki, so proud of him. He's just wants to win, that guy. I've never played with someone who's as competitive as him, and he'll just drive himself to work as hard as he can and make sure everyone else is doing everything right to win. And Kenny speaks about leaders. Their most important job is game day, and he's certainly been unbelievable this year.
Injury-wise, did you pull up okay?
As a club?
Yes.
Yeah, well, Jackson, obviously, we subbed out. He's got a little bit of a sore foot. We're not quite sure how bad a foot that is. I just asked him in there, and he told me he's fine, which you'd expect on the back of a win, but we'll do all the right things and check him out. Like we did with Jasper, we have done with Paul Stewart. We won't take any risks. We'll just make sure that the fittest players we've got are available to take out in the ground, and we'll play for them. The rest of them, you know, there's bruises and bumps and sore ankles and bits and pieces. That's because of the contest they just put themselves through. But overall, I think we'll be pretty good.
What did you learn about it tonight?
About
About your group tonight, what did you learn about it?
they won't give up. That's what I learnt, you know, and that's the thing that I'm most proud of. You know, in the end of the day, they just didn't want to lay down, and they wanted to keep fighting. And you know, you can't not be proud of them when they deliver a performance like that, because it was going against us, and rightly so. But we just stood up and wanted to keep playing.
That sort of defines a change in character for what we've known in the last 3 years. How does that come about?
It's difficult for me to talk, obviously, about the past, but as I said, you know, from the time I've walked in, this group's been really committed about where they want to go and how hard they were prepared to work. You know, we as a club went through some terrible things off field. You know, and I know this group of young men just want to play. You know, and they want to do everyone proud. They want to do their families proud. They want to do their mates proud. They want to do their kids proud. They just want to make sure that they put in an effort, and you know, that's what you learn about them. They won't give up.
Has this renewed spirit and, I guess, refusal to give in, does that surprise you as an outsider looking in Port Adelaide before you come across?
Look, I'm not even, again, I'm not qualified to talk about what it was like in the past, but since I've been here, it's been there from day one. Not one problem. From the day I went to Milan with this group, I've seen it, and I'm confident to say it. That's what they'll do. They're a young, combative, desperate group of young fellas, and they've got a couple of young veterans in the team that sticks with them.
Just the West Coast, a lot of compliments for the first month. Tonight was a bit more challenging for him. How do you expect him to go out of a game like this? How should he deal with it?
Oh, look, he's really important to us in the end. Westy, he had Brown on him all the way, and again, Westy was of the opinion halfway through the third quarter that he was running him into the ground a little bit, and you know, he was confident that he would be able to deliver something for us. You're not always going to have the 3-vote games as a club. We know that. One week it's going to be a different player, and the next week. But if we all contribute and we all put a little bit of an effort in there, I'm sure if you went in that room right now, West, he'd be pumped about obviously today's result and tonight's result, sorry, and he'd be really proud of the way his teammates stood up for Kane, I reckon.
The game break you have is Hamish Harper again and again. How keeping him fit's been important for Paul, but what about keeping him the way he's playing at the moment?
Look, I challenged Hamish at three-quarter time because I felt as if there was something there that he was going to be able to deliver. As Kane said, I challenge my leaders really hard all the time, and I demand things from them. I can't shy away from that. That's what I expect from them. And Hamish and Travis, Brad. What about Robbie Gray? I mean, Robbie Gray comes on as a leader of our club. Schultz, they just kept fighting, wanting to find a way.
Just back to Eagles, you'd like to coach?
Jake, he's an incredible little player to coach. He's an autopilot. My son said tonight he got fined for speeding tonight.
Well done. Thank you. Thanks.